चलो स्टार्ट।
कि इस कदर से हमारे हौसले को बढ़ाई जाती है, कि इस कदर से हमारे हौसले को बढ़ाई जाती है, आई जाती है मंजिल अब आई जाती है। Good morning everyone. This is Gunjan Krishnan in front of you.
Good morning.
And as you all know that DIIT British English organize a speech competition in every month. So we also organize a speech competition in this month. And first of all, I want to welcome to all of you in the semi-final round of the speech competition. I think you all are the luckiest guys who is selected in the 300 students for a speech competition, the semi-final round of this month. Please. So, we all know that we all came here and we gathered here to build up our knowledge, to build up our confidence level. Many of the students who is selected and many of the students who is not selected in this speech competition. Another thing is also that many of the students who is selected for the semi-finale round, and there are many of the students who will not be selected. First of all, I want to say that a student who will not be selected. If you are not be selected, this is not the meaning that you became failure and you became unsuccess. Because the meaning of fail is that the first attempt in your life. You are trying, it is the good for your life. If you unselected here, then you have to take teachings and you have to work hard for do better, for do something for the next speech competition. And the student who selected for the final round, I will also congratulate to them, and this proves that your hard works. You are here, it is also proof that you are hard working. Because due to your hard working, you all come from the 0 level batch from this semi-final round of the speech competition. So we are already late because we have a very few time and we are late due to the raining. So I will not take more time to you. So first of all, I want to welcome to the mentor, to the icon of the lots of the students and the director of the DIIT British English. He is not only the mentor, but also we can say that he is the role model of the many students. He is the life changer of the students. Because he is just making the unsuccess to success, impossible to possible. He is the person who just converting the word impossible in the I am possible. So, please clapping big hand for our mentor, Mr. Sandeep.
So first of all, I would like to welcome you all on this platform where you all have just gathered here, and you are the part of semi-finale, and I hope that you all will just do well. And in last session you did lots of mistake, but I don't think that this type of mistake should be done again. So it is very important that if you want to do something, then definitely you have to focus on those areas where you are not able to, where you were not able to focus and you did little bit mistake there. So please, I request you all that if you want to get success, because today my expectation is very high, and those students who will get at least 9 number or more than 9 number, they will be the part of grand finale. So it is very important that while you are just giving a speech or delivering a speech, you have to just focus on those areas where you have to just go, and the focus where you can get number. And the number is that while you are just speaking, it is very important that you have to make eye contact with each and everyone, because eye contact can give you 2 marks. So as I am just making eye contact with you all, you have to also make eye contact with them. Another thing is that during eye contact you have to also focus on your hand movement, because hand movement will also give you marks. Then after you have to go with the voice part also. So these are the external part of our you can say that body part, or you can say that these are all comes in body language part. So in that session it is very important that you have to just focus on each and every area so that you can get Palak. I think that I will change your seat if you are going to talk. Don't sit together, it is better. Okay, I don't want any kind of disturbance. So one thing I must tell you that please be focused. Time management is also very important, because after 2 minutes you will listen a bell, and after that you will be given only 1 minute to complete your whole statement. Means not say what do you want to say. Means you have to just complete like that. So be confident. If you are just missing any sentence, missing any line, then please just forget that line and just come back where you were just where you have to go, and you have to speak confidently, and this is way you can just do better. So I hope that you all will just do well, and best of luck to you all. Thank you.
So thank you, sir, to suggest us. And as you all know that, what is the today's topic? The topic is brain drain. And this topic we have to discuss, because we all are discussing on the current topic and what is the current situation of our country. And this topic is also necessary to discuss, because many of the youths who is getting knowledge in our country, who is developing in our country, but they are serving for the another country. We are living that place where we think that the Janani Jan Bhumishcha Swargadi Api Garyashi. It means that we are living in that country where we think that our mothers and motherland are the upper in the each and everything. But another thing is that the person who is getting more knowledge, the person who is getting talent, who just brain drain, who just left our country and started to work for the another country, then you all have to speak your opinion. Then is it really right or is it really wrong? Because we cannot say that clapping can be happened with only one hand. Absolutely, something was the also reason. Then you all have to clarify all the points. That what is the reason and why the youths are thinking about the brain drain. So now I want to call the first speaker from the 1030 batch, and she is also the first winner of the previous speech competition. She is very talented and very fluent speaker. I want to call Rakhi. So please clap for Rakhi.
So respected sir, my all dear friends, a very very charming morning to all of you. A girl who is standing behind this podium. This is Ms. Rakhi Kumari, and today I am saying something about that problem which we are facing. That is brain drain in India. So friends, what I am going to speak about, listen carefully. And thank you sir who has given me this golden opportunity to speak something about it. This fantastic topic for semi-final. So I am starting my speech. So brain drain is one of the serious problem for every developing country, and like India is also facing today. Brain drain is a refer to a situation in which well-educated and talented people go out of country because they have no any proper education. They have a lack of education. They have lack of opportunity, lack of proper resources in their own country. That's why they go. Now, if I'm talking about the concept of brain drain, so the concept of brain drain is a matter of this serious concern for every developing country. Brain drain is the boon to every developed country nation, since they highly qualified and they are professionals without training in their without investing in their training. Unfortunately, India is also one of them. India is also facing this type of problem. in many decades. Why India is facing? Because of lack of opportunities, career, lack of less of salaries, lack of infrastructures. There are lots of things. And according to me, I think corruption and misconduct of government is one of them. And now if I am talking about the higher ambition, so it is also the cause of brain drain. So now I am telling about of the reason of India. I am just told about of the what is the reason behind it brain drain, but I am also want to say something about of the reason. As we all know that the major reason for the brain drain because of lack of opportunity and is less saving for their own country. But according to me, the work culture and environment also plays a role for the cause of brain drain. The work culture and environment will not flexible and it is not reliable, then every people think that I will quit this country and I will go another country. So lastly, I would like to conclude my speech, and in my conclusion, I want to say that I just only tell about of the demerit reasons about of India and brain drain. But in my conclusion, I want to say about of the merit and its advantages. According to me, if their country people will go to and fro other countries, then that country's government means India's government think about it. That why our people go here and there? What is the problem in India that they go here and there? What is the problem? And they will think about it and they will take decision for the betterment of the countries. And what is this? The organization, facilities. There are lots of things which is not provided government. And as we all know that India is developing countries nowadays. Why? What India is developing? Because our government has taken this problem in a very serious way. That's why. And I am also want to say something about of that people who is go another countries. I want to say that you have no any love of India. That's why you go here and there. You want to be a slave, so be. I have no problem. That's all about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakhi. You have mentioned all the points. But one thing that she mentioned that the situation and condition. It is better to think that if the all talented people left our country, they just go another country for the situation and condition, then who make our country? Who built our country? So really it is the matter to discuss and it is matter to think. So now I want to call another speaker. She is very talented and very hardworking, and she is improving her in the very short period. So please clapping big hand for Sana Parveen.
Good morning to everyone, respected sir and all my dear friends. This is Sana from 10:30 AM batch. So today's topic is brain drain. We have a limited time to discuss about that. So brain drain. We see in life, there is a life example of brain drain like Sundar Pichai. He is the CEO of Google. Recently Parag Agarwal became the CEO of the Google. CEO of Twitter. What we lost? Do you think that bright minds to different countries, not just because they are giving them a better facilities, better infrastructure, because we are losing, because we have faced as a country that we are not providing that what they deserve. We are faced as a country that we are not providing that what they want. We are not appreciating their work. Different country appreciating their work. They are appreciating by their work by different countries. What is a brain drain? Brain drain describes as a country when people migrate different countries just because of infrastructure, and we are also facing this type of problem. What is the reason behind that brain drain? We always see in our society, we always see in news that a brain drain happening. We are lost our talented people. It is do you think that it is a good for India? Because every year 2.5 millions of people, that 25 lakh of Indians migrate different countries. It is started from the 1990s when people go to different countries for 300. But when I talk about today's generation, every Ram Shyam go to different countries for education, for work. Why is the reason that is happening? Because they are providing best infrastructure. If I get the opportunity, then I will also go. Lastly, I would like to say that if you can't do better thing, then do. If you can't do great thing, then do simple thing in a great way. We always blaming to our government that government are not providing us. Then what we are doing for our government? Every year government spend a lot of money for education. We are just getting education, but when the time of giving are we giving, we migrate different countries. Go and see the hospital condition. How many doctors available for a patient? Our population is 1.3 billion. Then how much doctors are available? This is the survey of the WHO that every 2 years 5,000 of doctors migrate to different countries. And you are talking about the developed. If our talented people not want to come in this country, then how our country will develop? Thank you.
ये घड़ी की टिक टिक भी बहुत अजीब है, न खुद टिकती है न दूसरे को टिकने देती है। So thank you Sana for taking your point. You have taken all the points and what is the cause of brain drain and why the people thinking about the brain drain. So now I want to call the next speaker. We can say that he is not only the student, but he is the collection of data. And he is very confident. Why? Because from when I am watching him, I never saw him unconfident. It doesn't matter what is the topic. He is know very well about that topic or not, it doesn't matter. But yes sir. But his confidence level is always high. So please clapping big hand for Satyam.
A very good morning to all of you. Today, as we know that today we have a topic which is brain drain in India. So I will start by the word. What does it mean? The brain drain means just simply the talented people of the country leave their country. But that's not the case with India. It seems like that the Indian population is already talented, but the minds of the Indian population is being stuck in the different kinds of problem because they have not focused what their goal is. There have 3-4 reasons which I want to highlight why brain drain is most important problem of India. First thing is people are happy to be known as a poor country and they feel proud that we are the third world country. That's the one of the problem. And second thing is the people which they don't have the warrior spirit in themselves because people they are just happy to be the following the statements of the great leaders of India, such as if you get slapped on one cheek, ready to get slapped on other. That shows the how they want to tell the mentality of the Indians that be ready to be suppressed by another people. They don't want to fight with their problems and they are happy in studying these things. But now if you see the current time, the timing has been changed by the government steps like what our Prime Minister has recently told at अब ना भारत किसी से आँख झुका के बात करेगा ना किसी से आँख उठा के बात करेगा भारत आँख में आँख मिला के बात करेगा that shows that what we need to get confidence on our skills and our culture and the people of India are rooted by their clauses, which is my third point, that they don't know who they are but they don't feel proud on what the culture of the India has and what the values which have, such as if I give you a simple example that a scientist Oppenheimer, who is the father of the nuclear bomb, he said that today I became the destroyer of both world. This was one of the famous statement of that time, and everyone says, "Wow, what a great statement!" But the same thing, if a pundit says, "We told him you are primitive and you don't believe in our culture," that shows that how we are differentiating between our cultures to the others, and the only one reason by which this problem can be solved, that is nationalism. People don't feel proud about their country, that's why they leave the country. If someone is leaving the country just because of money, that shows his greediness. So it's good for the country that greedy people don't live in our country. Thanks and have a nice day.
Thank you, Satyam, for taking your point. And I think you all have got to understand that I have not spoken lie. He is really a collection of data and the confident boy. So, it is the chance to call next speaker. And it is the fourth speaker, but he is the first speaker from the 730 batch. So now I want to call Rathor from 730 batch. So please try to talk for the first.
Good morning, guys. This is Rathor here in front of you, and today we have a topic that is India's biggest problem. So, first of all, before I start my speech, I would like to define the term what is problem. Then anything which makes us compile worry about, that is problem. It can be anything, like it can be a personal thing, it can be governmental thing, it can be political thing, etc. And according to me, the first problem, the biggest problem of India is, I can say, the leaders. Our leaders is the biggest problem. Our leaders is the biggest problem because everything starts from them. Yeah, everything. Like if I talk about the education system, corruption, women's salary, infrastructure, or unemployment, everything. Like according to Election Commission of India, there are 2,858 parties, registered parties of India, and if any from them start any type of good work, all of them start opposing, start protesting, and we have lost $646 million in protest, like from CA to Agniveer. This is, and the interesting thing is that there are 11 countries in the world whose GDP is less than that amount. So which shows how we are treating ourselves, our country. That this is the problem. If I talk about the another things, then that is, I can say, our growing population. Population is good for growing country. Population is necessary, but when we reach the level in the sense every country has a limited area for the people. So when we reach the country, then we have to stop it. We will have to understand first what the cause mean, what it can be affected. Like it can be depletion of natural resource, degradation of environment, water shortage, many type of diseases can happen. So these are the things which I can say that this is the problem of India, our population, growing population. Another thing is that I should keep this point on the first on the list because the point is we are responsible. Everything we are doing, that whatever I told about our leaders, we are the one who elect our leaders, who select our mentors, and we have to find what the difference between good and the bad one. So we are responsible for this. I'm giving a very relatable example of this. That like nowadays everywhere we go outside and we see like people are throwing garbage and their waste materials on the roads, and people are breaking traffic rules. So these are the things which I think that the biggest problem of India, that we are not responsible. I will end my words by saying we have to find out the main problem and throw it from our village, from our country, and we have to, when we find our main region, what's the biggest problem of India, then we will all have to work together on that. If you want to work together on that, then definitely we are not going to solve the problem. If we have to be the best group, if we have to be the powerful country in the world, then we will have to follow these things as soon as possible. That's it from my side. Thank you.
So thank you, Rathor, for taking your point. And everybody have a different thinking. He is also giving something different point, that what is the region of brain drain. And according to we, the region of brain drain is the political system of our country. It may be also region. So now it is chance to call the next speaker. And I want to call next speaker from the 730 batch. Please clapping big hand for the Sprinkler.
Have a charming good morning to our respected sir and my dear friends. This is from Srintala Chauhan from 7:30 a.m. batch. I am going to speak something about India's biggest problem. This is very serious topic for us, so please try to listen carefully what I am going to speak. According to me, India is facing lots of problems like poverty, hunger, overpopulation, corruption, child marriage, child labor, pollution, and caste system, and many more things. And let me explain some points. According to me, first is caste system. Caste system is a system of defining class or assigning status to individual from the time of birth. In India, caste system is mainly based on profession. Second is population. As we all know that India is the second largest population country with around 141 crore people, and because of overpopulation, India is facing lots of problems like unemployment, hunger, and poverty, and population, etc. And it is essential to stop the flood of population and creating balance in society for a better world. And third is unemployment. As we all know that unemployment is the biggest evil in our nation. It is very harmful for our country, and in India, government job only 2.78%, and youth are here million and million, and they know very well, but still they are investing their time and forgetting their skill for taking government job. And some solution from my side. Firstly, we should have to improve our moral education, and should have to focus on sorry, and change our mindset. And the second is the youth of our country should have to focus on their talent and their skill, and don't run after only after government job. And third is the government also need to make some strict rule, and in order to do that, and also follow them. And at last but not least, I would like to say that if we really want to solve this problem, we should focus on quality, not quantity, and be honest to our for our nation, and do something for our nation without seeing the profit and loss. It's all about India's biggest problem in my side. Thank you. Listen, my.
Thank you, Srinkla, for taking your point. And one thing is that she mentioned that the moral education. I think that she is spoken right. Because the people who left our country and who just go to another country for the money, for the special facilities, these all are happened due to the moral education. Because if the all talented people wait in another country, then what will be happen to our country? Who built our country? Who make our country? So I think that moral education is very necessary in our education system. So it is time to call next speaker, and now I want to call a speaker from the girl side. So please clap big hand for the Palak.
Respected sir and my dear friends, a very charming and standing good morning to all of you. Today I am very happy because I have got an opportunity to speak something about India's biggest problem. So friends, please try to listen carefully what I am going to speak. As we all know that India is the biggest democracy country in the whole world, and now we are the world's third largest economy. And but India is facing now in this time, India is facing most of the problem. And if I talk about India's biggest problem, so I think, in my opinion, according to me, poverty is a very big issue. We all are know that in this time, population is increasing day by day. Because of population, our poverty is also increasing. And poverty is not a problem of a person. Poverty is a problem of our country. In India, there are many people who are living in under the poverty line. I think around 37% people are living in under the poverty line. People suffering from poverty. People are not able to fulfill our basic needs like food, shelter, pure water, clothing, and lots of things. Children of poor family are not getting proper education and happy childhood environment because of lack of basic needs. People have to struggle people have facing many problems like starvation, hunger, and they are living in footpath. If I talk about overcome by population, so I think that those people who are able to help others should be a should be a big hand for this kind of problem. Not only for money, we are there are many sources like we can provide books for poor children, and we can donate our all jobs for poor family. Lastly, I would like to say that there are millions of people who are living in under the poverty line. I think because of population overgrowth, I think the population is increasing, and most of the problems are already reduced. And we all are know that India is a developing country. I think that when poverty is reduced, so India has become a developed country. Thank you.
So thank you, Palak, for taking your point. And now I want to call a speaker who is the new student, and we can say that who is the new member of BIIT family. But I just want to share my experience, what I observed from 2 or 3 days to him, that he is something different from us, because his thinking quality, his speaking quality, his pronunciation, each and everything are marvelous. And he is also thinking about something different. His point is also different. So now I want to call Ansu. So please clap big hands for Ansu.
A very warm good morning to all of you. This is Ansu Chandra, standing behind the podium. I am from the 10th batch, and right now I am here to speak on the topic of brain drain in India. So I know that all of you know about what's brain drain, and so I am here with an example. How my friends are going to US, Canada, UK, everywhere. My friends are going. They are studying there everywhere, and they are doing excellent in their work. For one reason, I will explain this topic with one example of my friend. He is Mohit. He has post-graduated from IIT Delhi, and now he is going to Pennsylvania, USA next month on 8th of August. He is going to Pennsylvania, and so I would like to highlight why he is going to USA. Why he is not continuing his study, his doctorate degree, PhD degree in India only? Because what he feels that scientists are not very much welcomed in India. They are not respected in India. Their experiments and achievements are not celebrated in India. That's why he is going to USA, so that he can do a lot of research in USA, in Pennsylvania, in College Town. It's just 5-hour drives from New York and 4-hour drives from Washington DC. And so he will get more research facilities there. He will research something new for the good for the human beings and for the humankind of this world. And so that's why he is moving to USA. And this is one of the reasons he is moving, because he knows that he will become a scientist in one day, and he want to be respected in India. He want to be achieved. He want to be celebrated for the achievements in India. What he will research in coming 5 years of his PhD degree in if he were in India. So that's why he is living in this country. He knows that the facility in India is not up to the mark. It's not proper. It's the research facilities of India are way too low than USA. So he is moving to USA. So he will leave the better life quality in USA. He will have the great transportation facilities in USA. He will have the great healthcare facilities in USA. So he is moving to USA because the facilities in India are not provided up to the mark here in India. That's why. And this is the main and the prime cause of the great minds of Indian to leave India and move to countries like UK, USA, Canada, and many first world nations, the developed nations of this country. So, and do you know that he will be paid almost 2 lakh per month in USA for research programs? And whatever he will be researching over there, he will be getting 2 lakh rupees per month there. And so that money would be keep him motivated in USA to research further, to do something excellent in USA, and he won't be getting any amount of money to research in India. So that's why he's leaving this country. This is the kind of bravery in India.
Truth is always bitter. It means that सच बहुत कड़वा होता है. And thank you also. You have taken your point, and you have also given that point. It is the reality of our country. So our government have also thinking about that person who is hard working, and for their hard work who is getting their knowledge. Then they should also thinking about the respect and thinking about their status. So I am totally agree with your point. Government should also thinking about for this. So now I want to call the next speaker. She is from 1030 batch, and she is a very good speaker, and she is improving her day by day. So now I want to call Amisha. So please welcome big hands for Amisha.
Hello everyone, a very charming good morning to all of you, our respected sir and my dear friends. Today we are gathered here for our topic, that is brain drain in India. And whatever I am going to speak, please try to listen carefully. First of all, we have to know the meaning of brain drain. The meaning of the brain drain is the migration of the highly educated and talented people from a particular country is called brain drain. Brain drain is one of the serious problems that is facing our developing countries day by day, and the brain drain refers to the which situation that is highly educated and highly skilled people go to the other country for their improvement and for their skills improved. And our India, unfortunately, our India is also facing lots of brain drain, suffering from the brain drains. And brain drain is not the problem of only India; it is the problem of many countries. And there can be many reasons of the brain drains, like career opportunities, investment, lack of salaries, and many of things of the major reason of the brain drain. One of the biggest reason that the reservation and reserved in government job, that students do not want to appear in any type of competitive and government exam, because they know if they are just selected, many students are selected and many students are not selected in their in the exams. And as we all know that India is semi-skilled and skilled and unemployed resources, and many students of India go to the abroad for their higher study, and they do not want to come here because they are seeing their living facilities, and they just get the good jobs in the companies, and they want to just living like a high profile in the country.
rich and they do not interested in their country. This is also the problem of India, not the problem of people. Because if the government are seeing that they have to just encourage the people feelings and they want to improve them. And lastly, I would like to tell you that brain drain is a wider spread phenomenon these developing and underdeveloped countries are facing today, and government should have to take in the measure from the skills of talents. And one thing is that I want to mention what our Prime Minister is told that we would here we need to stop brain and brain
सेम थिंग इज हैपेंड अगेन दैट पल पल तड़पते थे जिस पल के लिए वो पल भी मिला कुछ पल के लिए. So thank you Amisa for taking your point and you have spoken very well. I have remembered the previous speech competition where you just hesitated, but now your speech is very marvelous. So now it is time to call next speaker, and I want to call a speaker from 730 batch. So please clapping big hand for Saloni Kumari.
A very charming explaining good morning to our respected sir and my all seniors and my all dear friends. Firstly, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, and it's my pleasure to speak something about India's biggest problem. India has been facing many problems since its independence. If I am talking about the first problem of India, the first problem of India is unemployment. There are many good schools, colleges, university in our country. Every year, thousands of students pass out from there. If I am in both hands, the rate of unemployment is increasing day by day. There are many reasons behind it. Firstly, our population is increasing day by day, and this is the major problem. Secondly, our education system is also responsible for it. If I am talking about the second problem of India is women's safety. Rape, sexual molestation, child marriage are some problems women face in India. After rape in our country, the case continues for a long time. If I am talking about the case of Divya in Delhi, 16 December 2012, the boy was hanged in 2021. Even today, politicians say that the girl's race becomes the reason of their cloth. I want to say to politicians, शायद उस दिन ताला टूटेगा संविधान की पेटी का जिस दिन जिस्म निचोड़ा जाएगा किसी मंत्री की बेटी का. दोस्तों, पहले मैं आपको ये बताना चाहूंगी कि बलात्कार कभी भी किसी छोटे कपड़ों की वजह से नहीं होती है, बल्कि हमारी छोटी सोच की वजह से होती है. हम लोग ऐसा जानते हैं कि दृश्य जब अश्लील होती है तो दृष्टि की ही अश्लील होती है. So lastly, I want to conclude my speech. India is the biggest democracy in the world. India is the sixth economy in the world with GDP of $2.6 billion. So we have in 2017. So we have to right to vote. This is given by our constitution. So we use this power to vote right politicians who worked on even employment, education system, etc. We can thank you for giving me a valuable time.
Saloni for taking your point. She has spoken a line that गलती नजर की नहीं नजरिए की है, and I think she has spoken very well. But one thing we all have to remember that our topic is brain drain. So we have to take this point in the center, and we have to try to speak more and more about brain drain in our country. I think you are from here. Okay. So it is chance to call next speaker, and the next speaker from the boys side, I want to call Shivam Prakash.
Hey everyone, good morning. This is Shivam standing before you to give out my view on the topic India's biggest problem. Everyone has their own perspective and thoughts that they must be thinking this is the main problem, this might be the main problem. But as per I think, India's biggest problem is our politician as well as the problem faced by the youth generation. If I start speaking about our politician, they all are just power lovers, and as per I think, if anyone is power lover, they can't work for others. If you want to work for others, you have to forget yourself firstly. Then after you can work for others. If I give you an example that how our politicians are working, suddenly a few days ago we saw that Sindh government come into existence after Thackeray government, and what he has done, he has just stopped the changing name of two cities which has been decided by the Thackeray government. In this very situation, a lot of money got wasted, but who cares? It is our money, it is not their money, it is our money, and they will get it back by the taxation policy. And if I start speaking about the problem faced by the youth generation, then it starts with the flaws in our education system. I am saying it's flaws. It might be loopholes, but it is flaws because every student only knows how to read and write. They are not taught how to do constructive works in society. They are unaware of the things happening in society. If I speak about my parents, whenever I was studying, he says that don't go there, don't do anything, you just have to study and study, nothing else. But this has created a great unemployment in our country. Lastly, I just want to conclude my speech saying that it is just an appeal to our government that please don't use our youth generation for your Bajrang and Shiv Sena like structures, because they are no longer helpful for them. And I just want to appeal our society that if any youngster is doing some constructive job and going to any entrepreneurship, then please support them. If you will support today, they will support the generation. And if it is not done, then I can conclude my speech in only one line. It's just Anta Asti Prarambha. It's the beginning of anything. That's all.
Thank you, Shivam, for taking your point. And now I want to speak some lines to you. That शौक की जिंदगी गई, शौक में जिंदगी गई. It is the line of the Pakistani शायर John Elia. But you are totally confused that why I am remembering him. What is the reason to remember him from here? Because this is not the place where we can take shairi. It is the speech competition. But now I am going to call that boy. When I saw his face, I have to remember that shair, John Elia. Because his speaking style is similar to John Elia, and he is just, when he is speaking, I think that John Elia is just come on the stage. So please welcome the John area of the DIIT, Asif Rayan.
न पूछो जमाने से क्या हमारी कहानी है, न पूछो जमाने से क्या हमारी कहानी है, हमारी पहचान तो सिर्फ यह है कि हम हिंदुस्तानी हैं। My dear friend, good morning to all of you. Friend, this is Mr. Asif Rayan, 7:30 AM batch. Friend, today I have got big opportunity to speak something about India's biggest problem. So friend, what I am going to speak, please listen carefully. Our India currently facing many problems like unemployment, corruption, population, education and many more. I some detail explain India problem. Today India currently facing unemployment day by day, very wrong way going, and corruption is games of criminal, and population is very big issue our community. And you all agree with me about bad education system of India, because India education not your course and not your education full of and your timely. Then 11th and 12th and matriculation, then after government not decided what you do and what I do you for you. All shared by universities, and you also learn that universities very careful and not our education timely fully. And main caste divide of voting time. I think you please understand, you are firstly you are Indians. I am right? You are Indians?
Yes.
Lastly, I say that India have many problems, but my India is great country. My India not better than each on education, income, but our India is great country. I proud of me that I am Indian, because I good think of our Indians, because India is mixed culture of Indians, mixed citizens, mixed age groups, and both all with decisions and solve all problems. I think all problems only both solve the through the dialogue. So thank you, listen my chief. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Asif, to taking your point. And he had mentioned the biggest problem of India. And in his speech, he mentioned that the education system. Really, if we want to change our country and if we want to change our society, then we have to thinking about our education system. Because if you have a gun, then you can kill a terrorist. But if you are educated, then you can kill the whole terrorism. So it is time to call next speaker, and I want to call a next speaker from the 7:30 batch, Swati Priya. So please clap your big hand for Swati Priya.
मंजिल दूर है बड़ी मुश्किल है ये बहाना छोड़ दो, मंजिल दूर है बड़ी मुश्किल है ये बहाना छोड़ दो, मेहनत की उंगली थाम कर किस्मत की लकीरें मोड़ दो। First of all, thank you to our respected sir who has given me a golden opportunity to speak something about India's biggest problem. There is many minimum time to speak, but our sir has given me golden opportunity to speak something about India's biggest problem. So friend, what I am going to speak, please try to listen carefully. There are many biggest problems in India. First, like as
population, unemployment, corruption, electricity, women's safety, and pollution. But who is miserable problem? First, I want to say population. Population is the big problem of India. India has 1.3 billion people living in India. But according to the score of population, there are 333 births in a minute, 2,000 births in hour, and 48,000 births in a day. According to Population Reference Bureau, India in 2024, India crossed the China's population in 2024. And next problem, unemployment. Unemployment is the second miserable problem of India. That if one form filled by the government, then many students fill the form, but one student get the job, and next 99 students will unemployed. And next, pollution. In pollution, there are if I talk about world population, then there are many populated countries, but in top 10, Kanpur is the first most polluted country in the world. If I talk about electricity rate, then according to Indian Constitution, less the age of 14th year, child work are very corrupted. But in this time, all people say that children are future for India, but only children is labor for India. And lastly, conclude my speech. There, how to control this problem? How to control this biggest problem? So there are many reasons. First of all, if I talk about pollution, then I used to stop non-biodegradable substances. By the government, strict action against the child labor and many corrupted. Thank you for listening my speech.
Thank you, Swati, for taking your point. And now I want to call a girl from 1030 batch. So please clapping big hand for Srishti.
Very charming and splendid. Good morning to all of you. Again, who is standing behind this podium, this is Srishti from 10:30 a.m. batch. So firstly, I would like to pay thanks to our respected sir who has given me a golden opportunity to participate in a semi-finale round. So today we all know that our semi-finale and my topic is brain drain in India. So whatever I have knowledge about this topic, I am going to speak about this topic. Please try to listen me and cooperate with me. So before I start the topic, first I want to explain the meaning of brain drain, what it is exactly. So brain drain is a situation in which highly educated people, skilled people, talented people, and professional person to leave a particular place or a country and move to the other country that gives them a better pay and living condition, better infrastructure, and better good working conditions. And we all know that brain drain is one of the serious problem for the developing countries are facing nowadays. It causes the developing countries to lose the possibility of progress and development. In brain drain, talented people are born, raised and educated in their country, and when it comes time to give it back to the country and to work for the country and serve the country, that time they leave the country for the better work condition, for the better infrastructure, and they leave the country and move to the other country. And India is also suffering from the same concept. In India, Indian peoples are also do the same things with India. When it comes time to work for the India, they leave the country, because if we see the CEO of Google, CEO of Twitter, CEO of Microsoft Corporation, they all are Indian, and they are working for the other country and they serve the other country because of what? Because of many reasons. Because India has a lack of resources, lack of infrastructure, because we all know that India is a developing country and people, the most of the talented people work for the developed country. And what are the effects of this? Because what are the effects of brain drain in India is because of this. In India, lack of higher education, because every educated person leave the country and work for the other country. And lastly, I'd like to conclude my speech by saying that brain drain is a widely spread phenomenon these days, and the government should take the measures and decision for the loss of talent and talented peoples in India. And that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy, for taking your point. And you have spoken very well. And the all says that your hard working and your improvement. So now I want to call a boy, and before call him, I want to speak a line for him. That लहरों की खामोशी समुद्र की बेबसी नहीं होती, ये तूफान के आने का एक संकेत होता है. So he is looking very silent, very serious, but he is the very funny and marvelous guys. And when he speaks, fire comes in his mouth. So now I want to call Prince Shiva. So please welcome.
Good morning to our respected sir and all my dear friends and respected co-workers. Today I am going to share my views about brain drain in India. When we talk about brain drain, a question strikes in our mind. Is it a disease? Not at all. Is it a pandemic? Definitely not. Then what is this? This is that type of epidemic that is causing our nation day by day. Now we come to the point and talk about what is brain drain. The migration of large number of individuals in India, like young intellectuals who have lots of knowledge, lots of data, but they shifted to the other country and they work for the welfare of the other nation. That is called as the brain drain. What are the reasons behind brain drain in India? The reasons are, firstly, higher education is not available. Gender inequality present in our India. Most of the time we have seen that most of the places gender equality is available. Corruption also plays a vital role in this brain drain. And one thing is also reservation. Due to reservation, most of the young youth don't get that type of job what they deserve. Our India produces lots of doctors, engineers and scientists, but they work for the other nation. What are the reasons? The reason is that our government does not provide that type of respect what they deserve. What are the impact of the brain drain in India? We are depleting our economy day by day. We are losing our young intellectuals day by day. What are the solution of brain drain so India can improve? Our government should take action towards higher education. Our government should provide better infrastructure facility to the urban area people who is highly talented. Lastly, I want to conclude my speech that there is a quotation says that nothing is bad in brain drain. If we want to gain higher knowledge, well qualified knowledge, and we gain lots of wealth, we have to cross the stream. But it is also said that कि परदेश जाके हमें परदेशी नहीं हो जाना चाहिए. I salute all the workers who work in the other nation, but they come back to the India and they work for our country. Lastly, there is a slap for all the Indian scientists who said that nothing is good in the ISRO, but जब पहली बार इसरो में मंगलयान का सफल परीक्षण हुआ, उन तमाम साइंटिस्टों के मुंह पर कड़ा तमाचा था जिन्होंने कहा था कि इसरो जैसे साइंटिस्ट इसरो में काम करके कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Thanks to listen my speech. Thanks.
So thank you, Prince, for taking your point, and you have spoken very well, and your all points are up to the mark. and I am wishing you for final round because your speech is very marvelous. And now it is chance to call the next speaker, and he is from the 10:30 batch. Sorry, 7:30 batch. So please clapping big hand for Aman.
Respected sir and all my dear friends, a very charming and splendid good morning to all of you. This is Aman Kumar of 7:30 AM batch. Today is the semi-finale of speech competition, and I got an opportunity to speak something about India's biggest problem. We all know that India is facing lots of problems like unemployment, pollution, population, religious problem, education problem. But according to me, corruption is India's biggest problem. It is spreading like a disease nowadays in India. There is hardly any office in private or public sector which is untouched from this disease. If I talk about corruption in simple word, that when a person in power decide to make money, in power decide to misuse his or her power for making money for himself or herself is known as corruption. Is known as corruption. If I talk about causes, there are many causes of corruption in India, like the thirst of earning more money. Thirst of earning more money is make man walk on a wrong path to get their goal, make them corrupt. Second thing is that unemployment due to lack of many jobs. People try to earn livelihood and go to wrong path to earn their livelihood. Third thing is that insufficient salary. In government sector, most of the government sector provides less salary. For the earning of more salary, they have choose wrong way to earn money. And lastly, I would like to say that corruption. If nowadays everyone is corrupt, we have to improve ourselves. Then our country is improved, because corruption is a slow poison which kills our constitution, our society, the economic of our nation. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Aman. You have spoken very well. And now it is chance to call next speaker. She is the very well speaker, and we can say that she is also the collection of data. Her speak is very well, and that I want to say, you should listen from their own mouth. So I want to call Pragya. So please clap your big hands for Pragya.
Very good morning to all. I am Pragya, standing behind this podium because today is the semi-final round of our speech competition, and we have limited time. So firstly, I want to introduce you all what is brain drain. So brain drain is a process in which a person or a group of educated and skilled person migrated from one country to another is brain drain. Nowadays, brain drain becomes a very biggest problem in our country, and we all know that our country has world's second largest population, and having great minds is not big deal for our country, but losing them is very difficult, going very bad, giving very bad impact in our country, because we all know that about America, that they have better health facilities and research centers. But there is a fact in that is in America there is 38% doctors are Indian and 36% NASA scientists are Indians. And if I say about the data, there is a data given by our government. One Indian doctor in America only for 1,300 people, but one Indian doctor in India is for 2,400 peoples of India. That shows how much brain drain affecting our country. And if I talk about
if I talk about the economic system of our country, then there is also a big problem because since 2014 there are 23,000 millionaires who left our country, and this shows impact in our economic system. If I talk about other things, there is also a point which I get from data given by our government, that is our country has given world biggest our country give 3.12 million highest educated person and this person to the world, which is highest world. And at last but not least, I want to say something. Everyone knows that everyone says that India not give the appreciate to the doctors, to the work. But if we talk about working for our nation is pleasure of us, because we all know that we get what we give for our country. So I think that we have to give all the things which we get from our country, and we have to wait what they give. Thank you.
Thank you, Pragya, for taking your point. And she has given the data that how many people working for another country. They are very talented, but they are serving for another country. So, know about that point, then what will be happen if one talented person is working for the another country? We should just take an example of the scientist. And the name of that scientist was Albert Einstein. Anybody know about him? Where are from Albert Einstein? Is anyone? Germany. Albert Einstein was from Germany, but he was thrown out from the Germany, and after that he started to working for the America. And the result will happen that he invented the atom bomb, and due to this atom bomb, the Germany and Japan both have to take hand in front of the America. So we can say that if a talented people is working for the another country, then it is a really worst for our country. So it is chance to call next speaker, and I want to call a speaker from 10:30 batch. So please clapping big hand for Nehal Mirza.
A very, very charming and splendid good morning to our respected sir and my dear friends. This is Nehal Mirza from 10:30 AM batch. Today is 7th final round of speech competition, and the topic is brain drain in India. So friends, whatever I am going to speak, please try to listen carefully. Before explaining what is happening in the brain drain in India, I will explain about what is brain drain. The definition of brain drain is as follows: it is a situation where the educated peoples and the educated professionals and workers migrate from developing countries like India, Pakistan to developed countries like US, UK, and Western Europe. So, in search of better opportunity, job opportunities, and better standard of living, better work culture, etc. So, if I talk about the condition of brain drain in India, then every year thousands of students go for the higher studies to the US, UK, and other countries, so that they will be able to get a better education there, because the education condition in India is not up to the mark. So, and they get settled there after completing their education. That is a bad thing for India. And if I talk about one example, that is in US, there is one Indian for 1325 Americans. But in case of India, there is only one doctor for 2400 Indians. So that is a very problematic situation there. If I talk about the causes of brain drain in India, then those are as follows: lack of proper education, lack of better work culture, there is a lack of standard of living, and also if I talk about you know that the corruption situation is there, and other things are also there. So these are the problems there in India. If I talk about that, what is the impact of the brain drain in India? Then you know that if the professionals, the educated professionals go from India to other countries, then there is a loss of revenue to our countries, and it will hamper the progress it will hamper the Indian progress, the development of India, and also it will affect our country negatively in other aspects as well. So if I talk about how to tackle it, then we will have to impart better education, we will have to improve the standard of living and the education system as well, and work culture as well. Lastly, I would like to share that though brain drain is a very problematic situation, this is the biggest issue for this is very big issue for India, but there is some this is very big issue for India. It has very negative impact in every aspect of India, and but we need to tackle it by the ways which I mentioned above. If we follow those ways, then we can improve we can get rid of these problems, and that will help for our country to become great and to eradicate these problems, and in that way India will become a great country. So this was all about brain drain in India from my side. Thanks to listening my speech.
Thank you, Nihal Mirza, for taking your point. And you have spoken very well. So now it is chance to call next speaker. Before calling him, I want to speak some lines for him. That खामोशी बताती है उनके आने का शोर, खामोशी बताती है उनके आने का शोर. And please welcome one and only one, Mr. Umang Bipol.
Very, very charming and splendid. Good morning to our respected sir and all my dear friends. Who is standing behind this podium? This is Umang Bipol, and thank you, sir, for giving me a golden opportunity to speak in front of you. And such a wonderful topic is brain drain. Brain drain is initially who people go to the other countries. It is a success of our education system. It is good. Well, we have a 135 crore of population, and going to the 1 to 10 lakhs people going to the award. It's a good because they are glorify our nation, and such as a good thing. He is going to the award and give the better knowledge and better condition of work, and this is a good because I say that when you are talented and you have not respect of your country, but we going to the other country, and going to the other country just you say the money of send the foreign reserve, and our country our India has lots of people as going to the award, and just send the money of in our country India. It's a good for our economy, and I said that when other people just like Sundar Pichai is going to the Google, then it's a big name of then he is settled to the our country. Then it's not know who is the person, and I think that it's good for our country. And lastly, I would like to say that. We have a lot of problem of brain drain because we have a lots of people in our India, and he is a very much talented and good people because he is encourage of just like you going to the people invents the Google and Google company, and he is the CEO of Google. Not just like people doesn't use the web. Just like he is the it is the Indian app. But everybody not known what is the web, and
It is the initially for our better brain is going to the award. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for taking your point. And I think he always is speaking outstanding. And his speak is very marvelous. So it is time to call next speaker. And the name of her title shows that she has a mixed knowledge of each and everything. So please clapping big hand for Sakshi Mishra.
Good morning, Inspector Sir and my dear friend. Well, the person who is standing before here is Sakshi Mishra. Today is semi-final round and my topic is India's biggest problem. I have given a fantastic chance to speak before you on this topic. Please try to listen carefully. First of all, I would say India is the biggest democracy in the world that has taken giant stride in last few decades. The social, political and economical issues are need to be taken into consideration in order to improve the prevailing condition of our society. Issues like unemployment, corruption, crime, condition of roads, illiteracy, etc. So we need on to look into immediately. Now I am talking about the current issue of India at present, unemployment. Now I am talking about it's very common in unemployment. Now it is very common in youth, among youth. This situation is also known as joblessness and unemployment cause the workers to suffer financial hardship and impact on families, relationship and communities. The second one is women's safety. Both women, men and women are enjoy equal opportunities, but as far as freedom, the safety of women are considered India lags behind. Women should their talent in every sector. People must show off their the idea that women can't do anything. Third one is pollution. Pollution and environmental issue are another challenge in India at present. Lastly, I conclude my speech to the Indian government need to create an ecosystem and enable that private investment and increase consumption. The competitiveness of export and swift infrastructural investment. So these are the state purpose India to the status of global superpower and they rightly deserve. Thank you for listening my speech.
Thank you, Sakshi, for taking your point. And now I want to call next speaker. But before calling him, I want to speak a line for him. That हादसों के जद में है तो क्या मुस्कुराना छोड़ दे. हादसों के जद में है तो क्या मुस्कुराना छोड़ दे. जंगलों के डर से क्या घर बनाना छोड़ दे. He is the boy who is always smiling. It doesn't matter what is the situation and what is the condition. And his smile, his confidence is up to the mark. And he is also known as the HR of DIIT. But here a point is to be noted that the meaning of HR is that Himesh Reshamya. So now I want to call Himesh Reshamya of DIIT. Please come.
So, very good morning to you all, Must Riddhi Sir and all my dear friends. This is Vipul, and today we have a very serious topic, that is brain drain, and I am going to just give my view on that topic, that is brain drain. So simply, brain drain means when the talented people, educated people, young intellectual minds, they are just migrating in another country for their better amenities, for their better lifestyle, for their career opportunities. So this is a situation basically called brain drain. So if we talk about the data of India, approximately 30% people, 30% engineers, 20% doctors, and approximately 35% scientists are migrating every year to the USA. And one of the interesting that is 35% of scientists that are working in NASA is also from Indian origin. So what are the reasons behind that? So I have observed there are so many reasons why the peoples are migrating every day. The first thing is that lack of job opportunity. Second thing is that lack of the we can say that educational institution. Third thing is that the salary package is not in decent level. They deserving like that. And there are so many reasons. Fourth thing is that communal politics that is happening in our country, that there is we know all about that. Needless to say about these things. And another thing is political instability that happening in our country. So these are the reasons people are just migrating every year. So if we talk about the India has produced many young talented, just needless to say about Sundar Pichai, Parag Agarwal, and there are so many names that has just making very much influencing all across the world for their work, for their just a visionary leadership. So what are the reasons how to just stop this brain drain? So I got some points and I want to mention that. The first thing is that India should develop industrialization. India should just improve the better education system. India should give the placement for their youth. They just give more funding to research, and these are the things. So lastly, I want to conclude that the brain drain has just impacted all over the world. It is not the situation that is in India. It is not the situation of any one country. This is the situation of almost all the developing and developed country. Approximately, it impact very negative way, because due to brain drain, inequality arises, because developing countries becoming more developed and the poor countries remains poor. This is the best thing. Another thing is that innovation, developed countries are just going higher in just innovations, research. But if we talk about poor and undeveloped countries, they are just remaining poor. So these are the things. But one of the most important things is that this should just live in our government. It will be reduced. That's all about me. Thank you.
ये वक्त भी बड़ा अजीब है, कभी कटती नहीं और कभी रुकती नहीं. Thank you, Vipul, for taking your point, and you have spoken very well, and you have taken all the point that what is the actual reason of the brain drain of the people in our country. So now it is chance to call the next speaker, and she is from girl side, and she is the very old student of the DIIT, and we can also say that she is the future Air Force officers. So now I want to call Chandni. So please welcome for the big hand for Chandni.
Inspector sir, seniors, and all my dear friends, good morning to all of you. Friends, as you know that today is our speech session and speech competition, and our topic is brain drain in India. So friends, what I am going to speak, please try to listen carefully. First of all, what is brain drain? Most talented and well-educated and skillful person go from one nation to other nation for their better life. That is called brain drain. And now I talk about what is the reason behind brain drain in India. That's why first reason is higher education. You all know that in India higher education is not available. That's why most of the youth saved other nations for higher education. And second thing is unemployment. You all know that in our India unemployment is very high. And third one is corruption. You all know that corruption is present every sector. That's why most of the people go to other nations for their better life. And fourth one is gender inequality. You all know that in India gender inequality is available. That's why most of the lady and most of the girls shifted other nations for their better life. And now I talk about due to the brain drain, our India is underdeveloping. That's reason is you all know that our India give lots of doctor, engineer and scientists to other nations, and they are working for other nations. They are not working for India. That's why our India is underdeveloping day by day, and our India is not developing in field in medical sector and field in and say that how to stop brain drain in India. That's why first of all government should be work that point. First of all government should be provide higher education in India. Second thing is government should be provide job in rural areas. And third one is government should be remove corruption in education area. And lastly, we all know that Indian citizens that we should work for India. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandni, for taking your point. And today shows your confidence is very high. And I am wishing you for final rounds, but it all depends on the sir. Nothing is in my hand. And it is a chance to call next speaker. I want to call next speaker from the girl side, from 7:30 batch. So please clapping big hand for Shivani.
Respected sir and my dear friends, good morning to all of you. I am Shivani from 7:30 AM batch. Today is semi-finale and our topic is India's biggest problem. I am going to talk about India's problems. So firstly, I want to say something about India. India is the biggest democracy in the world. This has taken giant strides in the last few decades. We are now world's third largest economy. In India, we have jugaad for everything. But we are very important. We can't forget everyday issues. This continue to pose hurdle in the progress of our nation, and India is facing lots of problems like corruption, unemployment, population, and etc. According to me, unemployment is the biggest problem of our country. There are many good colleges, schools, and universities here. Every year, thousands of students pass out from here. But still, rate of unemployment is increasing day by day. Gradually, it is a major problem for our country. And among males, the rate of unemployment in urban areas is dipped to 7.7% in January to March 2022 compared to 8.6% a year ago. If I talk about the reasons, there are many reasons behind it. Firstly, population is increasing at a very high speed, which jobs to everybody. And secondly, our education system is responsible for it. It is more bookish and less practical. They don't become skilled and they don't have the courage to start up their own business. And if I if I talk about the solutions, firstly we check rising population. We should to check rising population. Government should take all steps to take to do so, and family planning should be encouraged. Each and every youth should be business minded. Instead after running jobs, they should try to start up their own business. This is the way they can employ others. Lastly, I want to say, with all the above efforts, our problem of unemployment is can be solved, and India can also become an economical strong nation. Poverty can be eliminated from India forever. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivani, for taking your point. She has spoken very well, and his all points are marvelous. And it is time to call the boy from the 10:30 batch. So please clapping big hand for Sajjad.
So respected sir and my old dear friends, good morning to all of you. So as we all know, today is semi-finale of our speech competition, and I am going to deliver my speech on the topic of brain drain. So the brain drain is defined as migration of highly skilled and educated individuals to another country in the search of better lifestyle, better healthcare facilities, and mainly for money. And there is so many examples of brain drain in our country, and there is so many examples. But I am going to give some very few examples which is very famous, like Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, Parag Agarwal, CEO of Twitter, and Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft, and Aman Pal Singh, who is CEO of GoDaddy, which is one of the largest platform to buy and sell domain names and domain extensions. And they all are Indians, and they all are working in foreign country as CEO. And in last 7 years, 35,000 high net worth entrepreneurs has left our country, and now they are living in another country. And if you notice, most of the people go to most of the highly skilled people go to US for the work in the greed of more money. And I don't think it is bad. It is my opinion. And because they get 2 times more money in IT sector, they get 3 times more money in management sector, and they get in academia sector they get 6 times more money than India. So and money is always factor for everything is here. And also with money they get better lifestyle, they get better healthcare facilities, and they get social security and gender equality as well, and a lot of things. But it is harming our economy, and it is really bad for economy, because as I mentioned before that, 35,000 entrepreneurs has left our country in past 7 years, and now they are living in another country. So now they are creating job opportunities for another country. Now they are paying tax to another country. If they were here, they would have been paying tax to our country. They have been creating jobs for our country. And lastly, I would like to say that, and our government should take this seriously, and they should take action for this. And I have some point. Our government should do this. Like they should develop an infrastructure for technological advances, and they can create healthy environment, competitive environment for studies, for job, businesses, and research. And also they should create employment for highly skilled people, because I think this is the main reason why people living in India, because they and lastly I have to say that our country should take this seriously, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for taking your point. And you have spoken very fluently, and your speech shows your hard working, and it also shows the success of BIIT British English. That how A zero level boys become the hero. And now it is chance to call the next speaker. She is from 1030 batch and she is very hardworking. So please clapping, big hand for Hafsa.
Respected sir and my all dear friends, a very big charming good morning to all of you. As we all know, today is our semi finale and we have to gather here to share our view and opinion on the topic of the semi finale. And I would like to say thank you to our sir who has given me a chance to speak about on the topic of brain drain in India. So friends, what I am going to speak, please listen carefully. Firstly, we know the meaning of brain drain. After all, what is brain drain? So, in my point of view, brain drain occurs when highly educated when highly educated, talented, and specialized person move their place or own country in order to move somewhere. In order to move elsewhere, where they can get better benefits and they can get better salaries there. And in India, brain drain is more because the highly educated person and individuals are immigrating for higher salaries and better opportunities. I think it's necessary because in this era, the monetary value of our country is going very less and we need money in our life and we have to earn money at any cost and the place where we are living in India is still a developing country and when the matter comes to the job to earn money so that time we think to go out of country. Why? What is the need to going out of our country? Many questions arise in our mind, but we set in our mind that we have to earn money, not only money, we have to earn more and more money in our future, and that's why we think to go out of our country. And talking about of India, in India, if someone goes out of country, so it's a matter of proud for India because an Indian who has as much talent that they can get job anywhere and they can do job anywhere and they can earn money in a foreign country also. And it's happened only because of the education system of that country. And I think the system of education of our country is the best and is the best. Every year, most of the person migrate from developing countries to developed country. And lastly, I would like to say that brain drain is not a problem; it's a phenomenon. The major reason of brain drain is that lack of career opportunities, infrastructure, investment, and low salaries in their home countries, and the people and the highly educated people who born in India and who lives in India, who get education from India, and the time came for giving for our country and doing something for our country. Then they leave their country and go outside of country to for their better future. And if government really want to stop the brain drain, so they want to provide better infrastructure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hafsa. You have spoken very well. And this all shows your hard working. And now it is chance to call next speaker. And he is from 730 batch. So please clapping big hand for MD Sahib.
Respected teacher and dear friends, good morning to all of you. Today is a safe and round and thank you sir for giving the opportunity to share topic is the biggest problem. In my eyes, India is the biggest problem is corruption. Everywhere for corruption is limited. Who is the country from inside of the everyone people is corrupted. They don't approve corruption is referred for criminal activities or dishonest and criminal and it is referred for a evil active and an individual of group. And most of the network of the network is and compared with the right of right and most of the probably of people of probably people of people of uh, corruption is created by the corruption is created by the reflect of the genetic of corruption and and corruption is and corruption and moreover of bribery is the most common most of the corruption of common and corruption is the for any way of any sector and any platform that's the job education and every level for corruption and corruption is the corruption is the best and it is one of the important of the one important while the private of corruption is corruption like a government job and so many government salary so many government employers not a good salary and good salary that's why that's the reason of the corruption and lastly I would like to say corruption is a corruption is introduced problem it like only of only of on it like only debate of the debate.
Thank you, Salim. You have tried very well and you have also spoken very well. But one thing we all should remember that मंजिल उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके हौसलों में जान होती है मंजिल उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है सिर्फ पंखों से कुछ नहीं होता हौसलों में उड़ान होती है So absolutely you get success in this field but now it is chance to call the next speaker and the boy which I am going to speak is not only the speaker as well as he is a good philosopher also. And it is chance to call a philosopher, we can say that, because his all points is related to philosophy. What he has spoken, it is not to understand the simple person, because he is always speaking like a legend, like a philosopher. We can compare him to the Plato, and if we compare to the philosopher of India, then we can say that we can compare him to the Osho Rajneesh. So please clapping big hand for Pushkar.
Thank you, Mr. Kundan, for appreciating me. Good morning to all. This is Mr. Kumar. Today we all are discussing on the topic that is the brain drain in India. That is a big crisis in India because India is the second affected country to the brain drain in the world, and they are hamper affecting to the growth in Indian economy and Indian every sector. Basically, what is the meaning of brain drain? Brain drain is any person. They are innovative minded and they are skillful. They got a better education for the any sector, but they are serving to the any country for the growth of that country. That is a brain drain. Basically, I will put the in United Nations body. That is the international migration international migration 2020 highlights that time 10 million India are going to the other country. It's a major joint plus 35 lakh person they are doing a work in the UAE and 27 lakh that is USA and 25 that is Saudi Arabia. That is a big brand in big brand they are processing the Indian economy. That's why the prices they are processing the prices in the way of the brand. But we will go to the that is a note of that is I think said it, that is a data. But what is a major problem? They are going to the other country. We are since 1947 we have seen to the we can't develop to education institute to continuously according to population. Due to nowadays we are sending to the children to the international college and international university. We are getting a scholarship to other country. We think they will come to India, but they take the education to international university, but they can't come in India. That's a big loss. Even at Ministry of according to Ministry of Commerce Chambers of Industrial Management, they said that every year we have lost $70 million US dollars to the student education, but they are not coming in India. One side we can say to the lots of major joint company they are doing learning to the Indian person, but one side they are thinking why they are doing international company, why they are not accepting to Indian company. But government also get a better opportunity for the international. They have left the India, but government are going to come in India, but they have no need. I think lots of institute they have treated to India already. World Bank said that India. Thank you, everyone.
I think you all have got that why I call him philosopher. Because his all point is marvelous and up to the mark. And he is also the collection of data. And now it is chance to call the boy from the 730. So please clapping, big hand for Alok Sharma.
Respected friend, my dear friend, good morning to all of you. I am from 7:30 p.m. batch. Today, my topic is India's biggest problems. So, India divided the many types of problems. We know that corruption, population, pollution, women's safety, and many more. But today, this is my point of view. According to me, India education is the biggest problem in India because India is only ranked 92 in education among the 145 countries. If I talk about the education system in India, so in India and in Indian school system, so in India in school system has 4 levels. First upper primary, second is first is lower primary, second is upper primary, third is higher, and fourth is higher secondary. Because Indian school system and Indian education system is divided in 2 parts: government and private. If I talk about government sector, government parts, so Indian government has no good quality of education for each and every person because you know that our literacy rate. And if I talk about the private sector, private schools and private schools are good, gives the good quality of education and provide, but it's too expensive to lower class family and middle class family. If I talk about the literacy rate of India, the literacy rate of India is approximately 24%, and in India, Canada is one of the top of the list, approximately 96%. If I talk about Bihar, our state, so Bihar is approximately 64%. India, education. You know that 80 to 85% people living in the living to the rural. They governments do not give the quality of education, and I think more than 37% people live below in the poverty lines, and they cannot get the good quality of education. Lastly, I would like to say that and conclude my speech how to solve these problems. Because you know that education is the most of the important thing in everyone's life. Without education, without knowledge, you cannot survive in every sector. For education is the must in this era.
So how can solve this problem? So I say teacher training, PPE model, and third is adoption of education. Fourth is a government should some things, and lastly, and thanks to you, my speech. Jai Hind. And now it is time to call from the girl side, and she is from 7:30 batch. So please clapping big hand for Kriti Agarwal.
Respected sir and my dear friends, good morning to all of you who are standing behind the podium. This is Kriti from 7:30 a.m. batch. Friends, as we all know, today is the semi-final of our speech, and we all are here to deliver a speech, and our topic is India's biggest problem. So, friends, what I'm going to speak, please try to listen carefully. And what is the biggest problem in India? As we all know that corruption is the most widely spread in India. It must be wisely. It must be handled quickly and wisely. It must be handled quickly and easily. It is in many sectors it is spread very easily, and in both private and public sector. This is not telling how much the economy has suffered from this disease. What is the major issues of India? There are so many major issues of India like illiteracies, unemployment, women's safety, poverty, pollution, etc. What is the reason behind it? Pollution and environmental issues are the major challenges for India at present times. There is a very long way to go. India is working very hard for this, and like dedication of land, dedication of innovations of innovation of implementing natural resources, loss of biodiversity are the main cause due to concern by population. What are the some problems how to solve this? There are some problems how to solve this, like make politicians voters unless innovations, etc. Lastly, I would like to conclude my speech and say that there are so many people who are corrupted nowadays. There are so many people who are corrupted nowadays because there is literacy problem. There are so many literacy problems because people are not literate. And thank you for listening my speech.
Thank you, Kriti, for taking your point. And you all are speaking very well. And this shows that this competition will be very difficult from the others, because you all are behaving just like the warriors. So now it is time to call the next speaker, and she is from the 7:30 batch. So please clapping big hand for Subhangi.
Good morning, sir, and my dear friends. I'm Shohangi from 7:30 a.m. Firstly, I want to say that I'm not capable to speak loud and fastly. So please listen to me carefully. And my topic is India's biggest problem. We all know that India is greatest country in the world. Greatest country in the world, and we have many achievements in the nation. But still many problems are available in the country. And this problem increases day by day. But no, our government, our media, no one talking on this problem. And problems are wealth and income inequality, education, population, pollution, education, and the pest management and crimes. Firstly, I explain wealth and income inequality. We all know that India have highest population in the world, and we have 102 billionaires in our country, and we are at fourth position on ranking. Fourth position on ranking on country with polluted billionaires, but reality is quite different. And reality is 51.5%. We just have 51.5% our country's wealth or income equality, and middle class have 41.7%. And 60% of the people are below the poverty line. Now education system. India's education system is the largest education system with 800 universities and 39,000 colleges, but still many students haven't job because they have knowledge. They have knowledge, degree, marks, percentage, but lack of practical knowledge. And according to Wikipedia, 28 students die by suicide in a day. And now waste management. Approx 1.5 lakh metric ton waste produced in our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhangi, for taking your point. So, I want to say you something. That the question is arising that why we came here and why we used to came here. We all came here, we all joined the DIIT family for develop our skill, for develop our speaking quality. But the question is that how can we develop ourselves? How can we develop our skill? If you are talking about the matter of development in the skill, in the speaking quality, the first thing is very necessary, and the thing is that environment. Because if the environment is good, then you can absolutely be good. And if the environment is not good, then you cannot get more success in that field. So, I think that environment plays very vital role in the development of each and everything. But I am watching, please listen carefully. I am talking to all of you. It is not time to call anyone. It is time to talk each and everyone. So, we all are the creator of environment, because we are just like a family. And in a family, if you want to really develop a family, then each member has to work for this. Each member has to try to do something better for that family. And the IIT is not the institute, it is the family for all of you. That build your skill, and that is thinking about your career. So, you all have to responsibility that if anyone comes on the podium, then try to listen him. Make environment like that he feel comfortable. Because if someone in the podium and he is speaking, but if you observe that no one is listening him, then suddenly his courage will, he and she become encouraged. So, each and everyone who is speaking on the podium, his responsibility is speaking, but your responsibility is that listening carefully. And one quotation you all have to be remember that if you want to really a good speaker, then first of all you have to be the good listener. So try to be a good listener. I think you all have to understand my point. What is the reason to speak that thing? So now it is chance to call the next speaker, and he is from the 730 batch. So please clapping big hand for Amit Kumar.
Respected to all of you, me Amit in front of you from 730 MH. Today is a semi-final competition. As sir has given a topic to the Indian biggest problem. So we all know that live in India and India is our country. But nowadays, what is the biggest problem in India? I'm not talking about it's a major problem of India. It's in India lots of problem. In India lots of problem as poverty, population, pollution, and lots of problem. But now I'm talking about what the minor problem of India. So Northeast problem in the minor problem in India 1982 across 1947 after. So what is the problem the Northeast? We all know that not name all seven sister state. We all not know seven sister state name because they are not interested the seven sister state. Otherwise, UP and Kerala, Goa, they are the lots of they are the interested state, but our seven sisters are not interested because we are not know that they state our also. So why are you biggest problem? Because our leader are not associated with all seven states as a Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura. They are all states. They are not interested there because our leader are not want to our seven states are the growth. They do growth because their problem is we can see railway problem and the transport system is not good their system. So this is the minor problem of Northeast. Lots of problem in India, but we all describe the problem. So minor issue of the Northeast is the oldest issue, its problems. So I would like to conclude my speech. India is a beautiful country and beautiful state, 29 state and 30 state, and seven sisters also our state, and the seven sisters also very beautiful state. We all to the visit and state, and we all know that our state is also good state. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. You have spoken very well. And now it is chance to call the next speaker from 730 batch. So please clapping big hand for Abhishek.
Respected sirs and my dear friends, a boy who is standing behind the podium, this is Mr. Abhishek from 730 MI. And thanks to respected sirs who have given a golden opportunity to say something about India's biggest problem. As you all know that India is the largest democratic country in the world. First of all, population is the biggest problem of India, and all problems come from by population like unemployment, corruption, crime, pollution, etc. Population is the if I talk about current population of India is 141 crore approx. That means the population of India more than resources, and going by estimated projection from World Bank, after some years India will be one of the most populated country in the world. if I talk about pollution, uh, pollution is the third position of pollution in the world, and air pollution is a serious environmental issue, and the dust and the construction contribute to 59% uh, to the content for the environment, and India is the world's largest consumer of fuel woods, agriculture waste, and biomass for energy purpose. And if I talk about in Delhi, Delhi is said to be equal to 10 plus smoking 10 plus cigarettes in every single day. And other problem is education system in India. In Indian education system is the third largest education system, and but still 80% of Indian engineers are unfit for the jobs, and students study to score marks and not gain to knowledge, and this so-called modern education system. And the other reason is unemployment. Unemployment nowadays among the rises among the youth. This situation is known as jobless. And the major causes of unemployment are mentioned that large population, lower skill, and low level education, and also the lockdown to shut down the many industries, the unemployment increasing across the India. Thank you.
So now it is chance to call next speaker. And her name shows that her speak will also be like her name. So please clapping big hand for Khushbu.
Respected sir and my dear friend, good morning to all of you. This is Khushbu from 7:30 AM batch, and today is semi-finale days, and today topic is India's biggest problems. We all know that India is the greatest country in the world, and we have so many achievements. In spite of that, there are so many problems like overpopulation, corruption, unemployment, waste management, environmental issues, religious issues, common safety, and many more. But in my eyes, India's biggest problem is the youth. Youth, because the youth is the backbone of our nation, and our nation future depends upon youth. Upon youth, there are so many reasons behind this. But unfortunately, the youth suffers a lot. There are so many problems, the reasons behind these sufferings, like our education system, social, economical, political aspects, etc. If I talk about education system of India, India's education system is the third largest education system over the world, and around 800 universities and approx 39,000 colleges. And every year India produces approx 15 lakh engineers and doctors, and which is more than in respect of China and USA. But out of them, 80% of our students is 80% of our students become unfit for jobs. Unfit for jobs. Unfit for unfit for jobs. Behind this many problems, and if I talk, according to NCRB reports, approx 11,000 students suicide by died by suicide every year, and this is the biggest and more considerable problem among our nations. Because India is the youthest country and approx 35% populations of India being under 35 years. And our governments do very well for solving that problems, and they are implemented many schemes like Pradhan Mantri Vikas Yojana and the Prime Minister's youth development schemes and many more. But there is need to some improvement. There is need to centralize employment, and we all are responsible for that, and we all are take responsibility. Then definitely we will overcome from that problem.
Thank you, Khushbu. Your speak is just like your name. So, it is chance to call next speaker. And he is the new in this family, in this institute, but his speaking quality is very marvelous, and he is a very hardworking guy. So it is chance to call the Raju Jha. So please clap big hands for Raju Jha.
Thousands miles of journey started with a single step. By this line, I would like to thank my teacher to giving me this golden opportunity. So first of all, here is standing Mr. Rajkumar Jha. Today I am going to deliver a speech about the brain drain in India. So guys, first of all, let you know that what is the brain drain. The brain drain, that the immigration of people from the one country, means developing country to developing country. These are the brain drain. And now I will talk what is the reason behind it that the brain drain are occurring in the India. That is the first reason. I will take the 4-5 reason for it. That is the first reason about it, the lack of opportunity. That we all know India is the second most populated country, and there is a lack of seats for the employed people. This is the first reason for the brain drain, and the second point, that is the reservation. Due to the reservation, the many deserving people are not getting job. And third point, that I want to add, the nepotism and or corruption. Due to the powerful person, they give bribes to the leaders, and their daughters or son are getting job due to the bribes. These are the problems. And the fourth one, that is the lack of salary in the India. The companies and the government are not providing the better salaries to the that employed according to their facilities or according to their skills. And another one, that is for the women, that women are not feeling safe in our country. That's why the many skillful women that are in India, but they prefer to go outside the India because of their safety. And I want to include that how can we improve it, means what is the solution of the brain drain, how can government improve it. By the improving the education system of our country. If the government will provide a higher education in our country, then student will not go in abroad, and then student will go to abroad for studying. They starting living from initial point to final point in the awards. If the government improve the education system, then it will be improved. And the second one, that is that if the government promote the industrialization system, that it will be improved. And the third one, that is if the government will work on the employment system. And now I will discuss what the government are working on the brain drain. That our Prime Minister think that the governments should take decision to convert the brain drain into the brain drain. That means if we will attract the some employee of the technologists and doctors from the other country by paying more higher salary from the India's government, then they will call the brain drain. Our government can think it. And lastly, I want to conclude my speech that lastly I want to conclude my speech that we are the part of the country, and if you are going out for your family or for your personal life, then you think also about your country, that you are also the part of country, and your country is also like your family. So you should also do something for your country. That is the best thing. And the another thing, that the government should also provide the better facility to with us, because when they will not provide the better facility, then the brain drain spread like disease, that will be harmful for our country. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Raju. You have spoken very well. And now it is time to call a speaker from the girl side. She is very good as speaker and she is very talented. So please clapping big hand for Madhu Jha. I think she is absent. So please clapping big hand for Muskan.
Good morning, sir, and all my dear friends. This is Muskan from 7:30 AM West. Today I am here to deliver a speech on a topic: India's biggest problem. So, the country is huge and its issues are likewise humongous. There are multiples of major problems that are really pulling the country back. Something to do to address each of them first if the nation wants to survive or succeed. So, what exactly are these problems that we are facing today? So, let's begin. My first topic on this issue is overpopulation. Overpopulation is one of the major problems through which can we are disastering our lives, and I would say that through overpopulation we might be both increase in magnitude and the difficulties that we are facing today. I will give a prospectus. Russia is the largest country in the world with the area of 17.1% and its world population is 1.9%, which is very lower than other countries. While on the other hand, India is seventh largest country in the world with the area of 3.28 million square kilometers, and it's covered. And if I talk about its world population, it's covered 17.7% of the total population, approx 1.35 million peoples. We are way too overpopulated. I'm sure that we are get a young population. We get young population, youth, and cheap labor, but we are also facing the problem of even more unemployment and more mouth to feed, and also make a unsustainable pressure on government and natural resource. So, according to me, being religion is good, and it is right to say that India is most diverse country in the world, and majority of religion are living in the relative peace. But it really boons with the reality and the policy of British rule, divide and rule. And today, selfish individuals, politicians, and organizations use this policy, make fool of people in the name of religions. And I talk about lack of education. So literacy is not equals to education, according to me. A person who can read or write, they are but not really have open mind to understand and accept new things, are not really that we are falling in education. We are falling in education aspirants. So to solve this problem, we have to aware ourselves
So now it is chance to call the. So please clapping big hand for Saif Alam.
Very charming and splendid. Good morning to all respected staff and my dear friends. Today I got have an opportunity to speak to grand semi-finale, and firstly I would like to thank our respected sir who has given me an opportunity to speak about India's biggest problem. So friends, what I am going to speak, please try to listen carefully. India's have many biggest problems like population, unemployment, poverty and casteism and women safety. First of all, we talk about population. India's population is approx 1.4 crore, and this is the biggest problem for unemployment and poverty. And now, day by day, population is increases, and this is the main factor of increasing population is literacy, and we will discussing about education system of India. Education system of India is not good. The rate of literacy in India is approximately 74%, and this is and the in India. Different states have different literacy rate. In Kerala, the literacy rate was very high, approx 96.4%. And in our state, Bihar, the literacy rate is 64% only. What is who is responsible for this difference? And we will responsible for this difference, and we managed to this difference, and now we can now we are now I am going to third topic is poverty. According to my side, poverty is very big problem for India, and poverty means the lack of basic personal needs such as food and shelter and clothing. All the third of the world's poor live in India, and 37% of the world total population of India live in international poverty line, and 42% of the children. 42% of the children under 5 years are underweight, and most of the poor live in India in villages like Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, and Rajasthan. Most of the poorest people, and that's it.
So now it is chance call. A speaker from the girl side. So please clapping big hand for Puspanjali.
Very good afternoon, our respected sir and my dear friends. Today I am very happy because our sir has been given me and opportunity to speak something about India's biggest problem. We all live in India. We all know that India is developing country, because India is facing the biggest problem like poverty, pollution, population, corruption, and gender discrimination. If I talk about pollution, the most important cause of pollution, like sewage system is not well, and many big industries and if I talk about unemployment, there are many reasons of unemployment. Firstly, their education system is not well. There are many schools and colleges and universities. There are many students every year. There are many students pass out in from these colleges and universities, but they don't
get job.
They did not get job because they have not skilled.
So now it is time to call the next speaker. But before calling, I just want to speak a line. That don't judge a book by its cover. So don't judge him to his name. It's absolutely his name is just looking like a girl, but he is the boy. So please clap in big hand for Ansu.
Respected and my dear friends, good morning to all of you. A boy who is standing behind the podium. This is Mr. Ansu Kumar from 7:30 a.m. Today as semi-finale, the topic is India's biggest problem. India is facing a lot of problems like pollution, environment issues, and other challenges as working hard, duration of land, and natural resources. 51% cause of industrial pollution, 27% of wreckage, 17% of crop burning, and 5% of other resources. The total number of population in India approximates 1.38 billion of people. India has currently taken the second position in the world. As we all know that the crime is also increasing day by day. Because to crop the people, we need to spread the awareness of crime. Thousands of people all around the world are they just protest. The crime rate of India is 126.37 of the year 2020. Nitish Kumar and his Tejasvi Yadav also using the catch line of Kanun, but they don't sound convincing. No legal has been made in major case. And we are not control the pollution. We have some diseases in our bodies like heart disease, weight, lung cancer, etc. What are the major problems faced farmers in India? The situation of farmers in India are not satisfied for many years because inability of good quality of seed, dealing with local traders, and supply of water, lack of storage facilities. Lastly, I would like to say that pollution is one of the dangerous issues that we all are facing. It is established fact that play a significant role in the life. Crime and drugs are closely related. Thank you.
So now I want to call the throne of the DIIT and our mentor, our role model, and our anchor. So please clapping, big hand for throne of the DIIT, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Singh.
Now I have become anchor in place of Gunjan because Gunjan is also participants. So now he has been just serving us for more than 2 hours. So now it's time to speak the person who has just done tremendous job here, and he has just played a very good role on the post of organizer, and this is the first time that he has just done like that. So now it's time to call the person who is very good. His smiling is also marvelous. So please clap for Gunjan to speak on the podium.
So as you all know that this is Gunjan Krishnan in front of you, and I also want to take some point on the bench. Friends, if we're talking about the brain drain, then we can say that it is the big disease of our country that is spreading day by day in our country. But what is the reason behind it? If we're talking about the reason, then we can say that everything have a double aspect. Something is in the positive and something is in the negative. So brain drain have also double aspect. If we're talking about the reason why the youth and why the talented peoples of our country is left our country, then you got that if you are working hard, then absolutely your expectation will be good and you expect something high. But what will happen in our country? the person who is working hard, who is getting knowledge, but nobody is asking him. I think that this is the actual reason to brain drain of the people, because they did not get good facility, they did not get good salary, and so far they just leave our country and they just join another country where his job is respected and where his salary is up to the mark. But the thing is that it is really good or bad. If we are talking about, then we can say that it is not good, because APJ Abdul Kalam is just joined the NASA. Then what will be happen to our country? I think we just lost the missile man of the India, and we are talking about we are the superpower, we have the nuclear power. So we cannot say that, because if the APJ Abdul Kalam is just gone in the USA, so the youth of our country, the talented people of our country should be understand this thing. So they have to just try and they have to just for their country. It is very good for the common people. But if you are talking about the patriotic feeling, then it is very necessary. Why we are joining the developed country? Why we are not trying to be our country developed? So I think that the youth and each and every talented person of our country is the first role to build our country. And they should just work for our country and build our country to developing to as a developed country. Thank you for my speech.
So thank you everyone. See you tomorrow in the class. Thank you.